Hey guys, still here and welcome back to War on the Sea. It's episode 5 and I have gone a bit ahead with the campaign. I haven't done any battles yet, but I'm about to start one. Because it is the group over here, Task Force 9, consisting of the grouped Growler and Grouper, which have made contact with a task force over here consisting of 2 destroyers, 2 light cruisers and 2 heavy cruisers. So it's once again going to be submarine warfare, with the potential to take out quite a few of the enemy cruisers. Let's get to it. Now the formation is going to be the Grouper and the Growler more or less in a line. And I don't exactly know where the enemy is, so let's have a look. The weather conditions are, at least for me, pretty good. Overcast. Unfortunately there's no layer here because it's probably pretty... well, it's pretty shallow waters, so there wouldn't be any. Upscope on the Growler. Contacts. Here. So they're over there. Understood. If I can sink both heavy cruisers, that would deal a big, big blow to the Japanese. In order to do that, I'm going to use both of the submarines, preferably together, so that we'll be able to launch a big torpedo attack between the two of us. So form up, range 750, and start turning to port. Speed this part of the process up a little bit. Yeah, I know, I need to keep pointing this periscope at it, otherwise the game doesn't know where they are. Grouper? Information with Growler. The hell you are. I'm gonna take manual control of the Grouper. Because the Grouper is not quite maneuvering as I would like her to. Move here, Grouper. Growler, continue on course. Where is that group? Here. Here we are. Increase to full speed. I'm not sure if I'm fast enough to intercept them. Range is 2,700 yards. Hold on, what is my other sub doing? Not much. It's only now starting to maneuver. That's a bit late, don't you think? As for targets, what do we have? Can we identify target 2, please? 5 turrets. That has to be the heavy cruiser. Range 1900 yards. We're going to send a full spread at him. And we're going to do that with a 1 degree spread. Hard to port. I'm going to try and get to 1,000 yards. Because I think that might give me the best opportunity to get a lock or get a hit on them. I still don't exactly know when the game considers you to be locked onto a target. I'm not sure if that is range or if that is sonar. I doubt that it's well, I very much doubt that it's sonar. I'm not sure if we can target 2. Switch to target 4. Start building on target 4. Target 4 is not a heavy cruiser, it's a light cruiser here. But considering that the weather is bad, and we are in nighttime, it's 0041, it's going to be hard to get a good identification on them probably. Yeah, control room is having a seriously tough time getting a firing solution. Nevertheless, we are going to launch. We are pretty much pointing our bow to where the ship is going to be, I hope. Maybe a bit more. They are moving away from us now. Send it. Torpedoes away. Grouper. Growler, you're up. This time I cannot speed up the launch anymore. Let's see how your solution is. 42%. Not great. Range 1,300 yards. And steady. Okay, send it. 6 torpedoes again. I really wonder how well this is going to go. Because it's going to be nighttime. Well, it is nighttime, so it might be more difficult for them to see the torpedoes as they are approaching. It's also quite difficult for me to keep a track on the torpedoes as they're leaving. We have the torps here and the torps over there. So we're going to try to target this ship here and this light cruiser here. And this convoy is probably... Hello? What? What was that? The torp's just making a sudden turn to port? Like that? Where the hell are you going? Is that really going to intersect with the course of the... No. I don't think so. What are the torpedoes doing? They're all suddenly changing course? That makes no sense. Grouper. Set a course. Where are these torpedoes heading? This is the target. The torpedoes are heading perpendicular? Or are we suddenly going to see these things all turn? That'd be amazing, but I find it rather unlikely. What are these torpedoes up to? And this is definitely not the angle that I had. Now, at this rate, it's possible that the torpedoes which were meant for the light cruiser might actually hit the large cruiser here, the heavy cruiser. I find it rather unlikely, though. What the hell is happening? Can't retreat either. Well, the heavy cruiser's not responding yet. Might have been a failed launch against the light cruiser, but it could damage the wrong target. Come on, no duds please here. That'd be lovely. 1 hit. 1 dud. 2 hits. 3 hits. Beautiful. Wrong target, but the damage is significant. Contact 2 lost. Yeah, that's because I don't have them periscoped anymore. At this point, everybody's going into a huge disarray because nobody has any clue where the torps came from, except for this destroyer here. He does not appear to be taking kindly to his torpedo, or to... Oh! We got him. The heavy cruiser's toast. 3 torpedoes and a dud. So 3 torpedoes is enough to sink it. Fascinating. Now, Grouper, I want you to turn that way. So Grouper hard to starboard. Growler hard to starboard as well. Because if at all possible, we're going to send 4 more torpedoes into the destroyer, I think this is. Yes. Identification. 28%. Or sorry, that's not ID, that's a targeting solution. Range, 300 yards. AKA, you're right on top of me. Both you and your brother. Turn, 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 turn. And there's another one behind it. What I'm going to try and do is throw out all the torpedoes from the stern launcher. All 4. And then see if I can sink it. Send it. I hope that I gave it enough lead. But it looks decent. Torpedoes. Don't fail me now. Yep. Nope. What? Oh, it just passed underneath the hull. But I was also angling to see if I could hit target 6. Oh, now you're gonna start turning? Your timing to start turning is dreadful. You could have hit the other guy. Which, considering the loadout, could be a Shimakaze. Fuck's sake. Ooh, that cruiser's looking like it's having a really tough time. Now, what the hell happened here? Grouper, you still have torps, yes? Yes. Switch from bow to stern launchers. You might want to have a look in your rear view mirror and you would find that there is a fairly annoyed destroyer coming your way. Destroyer 5 at a range of 370 yards. Solution 16%, 18%, 20%. Well, at least we sunk one heavy cruiser. I'm happy with that. Both coming at me. Solution's only 20%. Fire. Stern torpedoes, spread 1 degree. Yes? Yes. Ooh, that's not looking great. Although he's turning into it? Oh, hold on a moment. Hold on a moment. Hello? Dud. Fuck's sake. Could I get a refund on my torpedoes? They're all turning again. It's like they're trying to come in for another attack run. Can they even do that? Well, I guess they can. Yep. Welcome to 1942, where we're launching Mark 48 ATCAPs, which are capable of reacquiring the target. These things did a full 180. To say that this is unlikely would be an understatement, I think. Glorious. If I want to leave... Yeah, we can't quite do that. What the hell? What are these magical torpedoes of mine? Okay, I'm gonna try and disengage, because I sunk a heavy cruiser, which means that the North Carolina's battle group might have an easier time dealing with these ships, if she can see them in the dark. That's a big if. 60 seconds on the bow torpedo. Yeah, that's great, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time for that. Because then I'd have to turn all the way around again. Where are the other ships, by the way? These are the two DDs. Did they just turn tail and run? I guess they did. Yep, Destroyer 5 has no idea where we are. They're turning away. I can leave in 100 seconds. If I can leave with 2 intact submarines and 1 dead heavy cruiser, then I'm going to consider that an absolute win. Here are the torpedoes. Which were launched from the grouper with her stern torpedo against a DD. And they end up next to the Growler. Oh, this is gold. Really? Did these things have tracking torpedoes? Is that not something that was invented far, far later into the future? No, we're gonna have a problem here. 95 seconds. 57 seconds to leave. This is Destroyer 6, I think. Yeah, they're gonna cut across my stern. Now, I can either wait 40 seconds and leave, or I can wait about 70 seconds and try and torpedo them again. But I'd much rather evacuate the subs, maybe rearm them, and have them go after some more targets. So I'm going to try to get these things out of here, despite having an enemy destroyer at 500 yards on top of me. I'll just have to accept that, I guess. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. Oh, no. You gonna ram? Ramming in this game causes damage. Friendly ships ramming is not a good deal for the friendly ships. Ooh. Not quite ramming, but really close. Alright, we're gonna leave. Ship sunk, 13,000 tons. I gained 14 command points with that. That's almost enough to sport me 3 submarines. Nice. You guys, please fall back a bit. And let the North Carolina's battle group see if they can find them. Head straight in. ETA, 3 hours. I also want Task Force 10 in there to see if we can finish them off together. Come on. I wonder if they're going to... Oh! Encounter. North Carolina Battle Group. Time 409er. Overcast. Sea state 6. Here we go. Let's see. We got the North Carolina, the Dewey, and the Amsterdam. I think I know what fleet this is. What task force. But where? Activate radar. And sonar. Now, since I cannot see anything right... Oh, yep, I can see something right now. What you got there? No, that's not... Submarine, yeah, right. It's a light cruiser. That makes you the heavy cruiser. North Carolina, target, heavy cruiser. Amsterdam, target the heavy cruiser. Fire when ready. Dewey, target the destroyer over there. 18,000 yards. You may fire when ready. Amsterdam's engaging. North Carolina, attacking target 1. There we go. 16-inch guns, if I'm not mistaken. Mine, that is. Recog. 16-inch guns on the North Carolina. We're going to turn to port and intercept these guys. Accuracy is probably going to leave something to be desired, as it's going to take quite a while indeed before we get an identification, or before we get a good firing solution. Let's fire a star shell. The SS, the star shell, because it'll make it a bit easier for them to, or for us to spot them. Which is not visible. This is more or less straight ahead, so a little bit to the right. It looks like, yep, they've already been hit. And I might be in a very good position, as they're not even training their guns at me. They might not be capable of seeing me. That'd be excellent. And I could immediately wipe out the heavy cruiser group here. Meaning that if I bring some transports over, I might be able to take over the whole position of Guadalcanal. Switch back to armor piercing. Continue turning to port. Even the smaller guns are working. But firing solution is none. Which is weird, because I already have, supposedly, hit the heavy cruiser. Oh, now they're targeting their guns. Now they're starting to target me. And returning fire at that. That came pretty close. Let's have the secondaries fire star shells. Hopefully illuminating the target. Hit. Now I'm so used to being able to see what I have hit from Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, but that's not something you can do here. Radar is functional. Firing solution 4%. We're going to be... Yeah, there's something smoking out there in the distance, but I can't see it. We also take incoming. No, minor damage taken so far. These are, what, 5-inch secondaries? It's the light cruiser. I want to have the heavy cruiser out of commission here. That boy. Range, 7,500 yards. Maybe the Dewey can go in on a torpedo attack and just send torpedoes in the general direction here. Hoping to hit something. Let's see. Give me the Dewey. 8,000 yards. Torpedo solution. None. None whatsoever. So if I am to launch torpedoes, it'd just be pretty random. And my torpedoes would have to run 7,000 yards. Which they can do. It's just anybody's guess how accurate they're going to be. If at all. Now I'm crossing their T. Or just about. Meaning that I should have pretty good accuracy. Or pretty good firepower against them. Another hit. Torpedoes away. Second salvo. North Carolina, we're gonna have to turn real quick. Turn, buddy. And increase the flank. It's gonna throw off my aim, but also throw off their torpedoes, and I was just lucky to catch that. Why are we... What? Torpedoes looking over port. So the torpedoes are aimed that way? That makes not a lot of sense. Now, just to check. Yeah, that's a DD. It's the other DD. It's the other light cruiser. Understood. Unfortunately, I don't really have too many spectacular visuals from this battle because it's so dark. This would have been a daylight encounter. It would have been far more interesting to watch, but as it happens, it's just very, very difficult to see anything. Secondary guns, manual. Target 4. Look at how quickly those main guns rotate. How many star shells do I have? None! Oh, that helps. I do have them here. Secondaries fire star shells. We're taking damage. Minor damage. Full salvo away from the 16s. Looks like they're on the run. Oh, they've put out the fires. That's unfortunate. Oh, do I have star shells over me? Yeah, these are star shells. Here. So I am definitely getting illuminated by them. Amsterdam, return the favor. North Carolina's burning. Could have been worse. Could have been me taking torpedo fire. And yeah, we definitely have star shells over them now as well. Range 7,000 yards. Damage? Minor. Some fires, no flooding. Excellent. Solution is still terrible. This is gonna take a while. Ooh. 1, 2, 3 fires currently. Some of these sectors are taking a little bit of damage, but overall the 8-inch probably can't hurt me that bad. How's that heavy cruiser doing? Seems healthy. I don't like that. I liked it better when it was burning, actually. Maintain a bit of a gentle course change to make it more difficult for them to hit me again with a torpedo salvo. Range to the heavy cruiser. No, it's target 2, target 1. 7,500 yards. 418. It's not going to be daylight anytime soon. %, 14%. We're getting more accurate. I can tell you that there's something out there in the distance, but I really couldn't tell you what it is. It's just throwing shells my way, that's for sure. Moderate damage to the North Carolina? Already? How? You're a battleship. I'm actually kind of expecting you to be able to take this kind of punishment. Let me take manual control of the Amsterdam. Increase to 15 knots, steady as she goes. Dewey, manual control as well. Target 1. Bearing 042. Just throw them all out. A bit of a spread, because they seem to be nicely clustered there. Range 6,000 yards. 1 degree at that angle or at that distance should be enough. Launcher away. Both launchers. Okay. We're dropping torpedoes. That means that the Dewey is, as far as doing damage to capital ships, pretty much done. So I'm hoping that she might still come in later useful. She's going to be useful regardless. But that she's going to be handy when it comes to dealing with destroyers. Or sorry, with submarines. Form up. Putting the Dewey behind the Amsterdam. North Carolina was doing a few too many turns now. Moderate damage so far. Look at all those star shells illuminating the Japanese fleet. Did you get hit, or are you just moving really slowly? Probably the latter. Probably just moving really slowly. Target 6,000 meters out. Sorry, 6,000 yards. Coming over to port again as quickly as I can to get me a better firing angle. $6,000 yards. Can we see it? Yeah, there she is. Right there. With the current target, I'm not sure if AP is my best bet. Maybe HE is better. Alright, for the NC, this should be a decent course. How's the Amsterdam doing? Turn starboard. Your range is 4,700. Your firing solution is far better. But my angle is not good enough, which means that the stern turrets cannot fully engage. So we're going to have to open up the broadside and make sure that we have all the guns involved. There we go. That's better. This cruiser might still try and do a torpedo attack with her starboard launcher. So that's something I have to keep a really close eye on. Because getting a torpedo, apparently... Oh, we took some flooding. As we have seen with heavy cruisers, they take a lot of damage from them. There we go. Target unknown. I'm going to assume it was either Amsterdam or North Carolina. So North Carolina is going to turn to port. Amsterdam is going to turn starboard. I'm going to increase speed. Make sure that that torpedo firing solution is rubbish now. Dewey. Status. Moderate damage, moderate flooding. I'm going to have you disengage. If you can, that is. Just set a course, well, away from here. That's the most important bit. Amsterdam. Set a course to here. North Carolina, you're mine. Firing solution, 34% holding. Range, 5,000 yards. That heavy cruiser seems to be having a rough time of it. She's burning again. Another hit. That's the main salvo. Main batteries. Come on. Splashed all around it. Crap. She's definitely burning. Just turn back to starboard a bit. I have no idea how my own torpedoes are doing. Maybe I'm suddenly going to get a report that I hit something with a torpedo. Maybe not. When is this thing going to have enough? Well, she appears to be pretty slow at this point. She's no longer firing. Maybe her firing computers are too heavily damaged. What is my ship doing? My funnel's pretty crap. But that seems to be the only problem that ship currently has. Well, sure, there's some fires on the deck, but they're not spreading. Not causing too much mayhem on the ship. Now, I really want to make sure that this heavy cruiser doesn't get to leave. So we're going to keep pummeling that thing until it dies. Over here they have one of their torpedo cruisers. What is that? Like a light cruiser. Small guns. Ooh. So definitely getting the attention. Maybe from the Amsterdam at that. That way, please. Amsterdam, attack target 3. North Carolina, attack target 1. The Dewey has managed to put out her fires. How's the rest of your damage? Heavy. Flooding in several compartments. One of the engineering compartments is flooded. I need the Dewey to get out of here. Still moderate damage to North Carolina. It looks like this ship has no propulsion. Good salvo. Now we're a little while later, and I'm not sure if the enemy ships broke down or if the enemy AI broke down. Because I'm not seeing any movement on any of the AI ships. I get that this ship over here is smoking and might have full engine problems. This one, potentially too. This one seems fine. Number 5 seems fine. The only thing that I can imagine is that they're trying to hold formation with, well, with Fleet 1, or Ship 1, which is the heavy cruiser. And that they are unable to do that because it is dead in the water. And with the ship dead in the water, maybe the AI just doesn't know what to do and shuts down. So it just powers down the ships. Which works for me because they're very much sitting ducks at this point. I have disengaged the Dewey as much as I can. And let's turn off the sensors, maybe making it more difficult to detect. The Amsterdam and North Carolina are still engaging the enemy, trying to do as much damage as possible. And this heavy cruiser, despite serious damage, refuses to go down. Not sure exactly how much more she needs. There's another big hit, but she just refuses to sink. Although, it looks like she is flooding, considering how low she is in the water. And there she goes. The heavy cruiser is sinking. With the firing arc of the torpedoes of Destroyer 5 here pretty restricted, I'm going to say that that's going to be my new target. See, this is what I don't like about this game right now. With the death of target 1, the North Carolina immediately went, shrug, I'm going to stop firing. You really shouldn't do that. The AI should immediately swap to a different target and go, there's more here to shoot. We're going to shoot some more. But they're not doing that. And I really don't like that. They should immediately be engaging something else. Much like, and I'm going to compare it to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts again, much like they should. Something dies and there's more to shoot at, well, maybe shoot it. But they're not doing that. At any rate, this DD should not live long. And over here, this light cruiser is also dead in the water. There's still 4 ships out here, and I want to sink all of them. Maybe at the expense of the Dewey, if it turns out that she cannot be salvaged. But hopefully, she's going to be salvaged and going back to port for extensive repairs. Because her damage is heavy, and so is her flooding. So I really hope that she's going to make it out of this conflict alive. Because then I can say I sunk 5 ships without losing a single one. Which is going to give me potentially a pretty decent advantage. There goes number 5. It's going to give me a decent advantage, both in ship numbers and in command points. Because with more command points, I'll be able to buy more ships and maybe snowball my own advantage. So that's what I'm hoping to do. After quite a lot more fighting, I was able to sink the entire battle group. This means that the heavy cruiser was sunk, both light cruisers and the destroyers, at the expense of some damage, well, apparently no damage and no flooding to the Amsterdam and the North Carolina, but the Dewey was sunk after all. I gained 35 command points from that encounter, which is more than enough to buy me a new destroyer. So, very successful mission here, and hopefully it's going to deal a significant blow to the Japanese. But how much it has set them back, we will figure that out in the next episode. For now, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you soon for another episode.